Hello, hello, and welcome, my Gemini Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Chakra Check reading for March and April 2020. I am your reader, Markangelo Lyons, Mal for short, president of Joining the Circle Productions, professional wish, professional intuitive, and very, very happy to be serving you today from my lovely home in Holbrook, New York. Really, these chakra readings have been quite extraordinary to do. I know they're brand new, but Geminis tend to like the new stuff. So I hope you get what you need out of this. It really, truly is my pleasure to be doing this for you. Sorry, I just need my thing in front of me so I can make sure I don't forget shit. Remember, this is a general reading. I always have to say that. Please take what resonates, leave what does not, because I am reading a collective. I'm reading a chakra spread, the energy fields of an entire zodiacal gestalt, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. So, like, take all the Gemini suns and then multiply that number by 4. It's a little tricky, but these have been really in-depth and very, very powerful, and all essentially saying the same thing in the sense that, yeah, everybody's isolated. Big shock. Let's not go there because we're already there. This chakra reading, you may be familiar with the chakras, right? But this is based on the work of Caroline Myss in Anatomy of the Spirit. So we're going to be looking at 8 chakras because we're including the one over the head, the 8th chakra, the upper room, the star center, the soul center. Good gods, it's been called so many things. But in particular, we're going to be looking at it in 3 levels. So we'll have 3 chakras, 4 chakras, and then 1. The literal, the personal, and the symbolic, the physical world, the mental, emotional world, and the spiritual world. Cool? It's a good way, and it's a great way to read your own energy field, to see what you need in terms of balancing and aligning your own energy system for your own healing, because your energy system absolutely has an impact on your immune system. Just saying, right? So we're going to look at your 8 flavors of power, if it were. We're going to be using 4 different decks, really only 18 cards in total. But these are running between 50 and 60 minutes. So I could have added more, but I've been doing this spread for clients for a really long time, since I read Anatomy of the Spirit by Caroline Myss. So let's get down to it. Please remember to breathe so that we're all in the present moment. By the way, the more conscious you are of your own breathing process, the more in the present moment you are, the more you can receive the chi, the prana, the healing energy, the guidance and grace from the divine for what you need in the moment, releasing anything that needs to go in the moment for your well-being and for the well-being of all, as well as you can sense what resonates and what doesn't. And by all means, please do check your other signs, because I'm sort of teaching about chakras as I go here. It's what's coming out my mouth, so may we all learn, heal, and grow through this time. And I am very, very honored to be doing this work. While other people are unable to work, I at least get to do what I do best. Cool? That's my blessing. Living alone with my 3 cats, I got this going for me. So let's dive in, shall we? I'm a friend to Gemini, so I tease you all mercilessly. I mean it with love. Let's dive in. We're going to start with the Healing with the Angels Oracle, Doreen Virtue. All the decks I read are in the description box at the bottom. Go have a look-see-dooksy, and there's some other cool stuff on the way down. Let's do this. Oh, my angels, please bless this deck for the Gemini Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Top 8 cards. Chakra check spread for the Gemini Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. March and April 2020, please. Their chakras from root to star center, root to 8th chakra, 1st through 8th, if you prefer, please. Top 8 cards. Thank you very much for the Gemini Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, March and April 2020. Thank you, my angels dear. We are going to do the exact same thing before we start dealing the cards with the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, usually using them only to represent the voices of the goddesses, the divine feminine. Here we are going to utilize them with the gods as well as the goddesses. Otherwise, I would have brought in the mythic tarot to be the voices of the gods, but then that's too many cards for a chakra spread. Our eyes would cross, my eyes would cross, and these would be marathon readings. Nobody wants to watch a 3-hour reading. It's bad enough what happens when you go on a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. Millennials are like, what is he talking about? No, the millennials might know. It's Generation Z that probably has no idea. I'm Generation X. Can you tell? Breathe, my darlings. Let's ask the deities to bless this for you. My gods and my goddesses sacred, please top 8 cards for this Gemini collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. What's going on in their energy field? The 8 chakras, root to 8th, right? 1st to 8th, root through star for this Gemini collective. Sun, Moon, Rising. That's funny. Venus signs March to April 2020. Please top 8 cards. Chakra spread. Thank you, my gods and my goddesses. Sacred clean cut, please. Nope. Oh, maiden, mother, crown. They made me laugh. And they said, you might as well do 2 different spreads. But they're kidding. Let's hope. All right, we've got those programmed. Obviously, those are 16. 8 and 8 is 16. We've got 2 other decks that I will be using to clarify at the end. Then we'll pop up the picture, do the overview. If you're new to my channel, you'll see. If you're not, you know how I roll. So, first card down will be the Root Chakra. Tribal power, physical power. Think of the root going down into the earth, right? And connecting and interconnecting with not just the quantum field and the electromagnetic field of the planet, but everybody else's roots, because we're all one. We're all manifestations of one energy field, right? So this is your tribal power. Your family, your friends, your coworkers, the country you're in. Like, I'm an American, but I'm also a New Yorker, and I'm also from Suffolk County, and I'm also live in Holbrook, right? Tribes, tribes, tribes. Political, your gender preference, all of that stuff, right? Like I said in the last video for Cancerians, it's like, I love Stevie Nicks, so I'm part of the Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac tribe, right? So we all have our tribal power, our group relationships, which is why I included Venus in this spread. So what you got going on in your root, darlings? Oh, well, you're off to a bang. You've got the card of the witch, the magician in the Daughters of the Moon Tarot with the card of abundance. So whether or not you are experiencing it or not, you are being a lightning rod of divine energy, spirit coming down through air, the wand here, the fire, right? The element of fire, the fire under the cauldron, the water, and the earth, the pentacle around her neck. You are literally channeling stuff into the physical world. So we're talking about physical abundance here. Don't freak out. Your creativity is getting ready to manifest, hitting the root chakra and then the earth's magnetic field, electromagnetic field. So you want to talk law of attraction? Keep an eye on what needs aligning in your chakra field here as we do this reading, because it's going to make it maybe not faster, but more graceful, more easier for things to go from the 8th chakra down into physical form, which is the process of creativity, or if you like, incarnation. The root of the word carn, right? Like meat, right? Bringing it down into physical form, into your body. Oh, that felt good. Very, very cool. Speaks for itself. But you may not be ready to see that. Remember, this is for the end of March right now. I'm doing it a couple of days before the end of the month and throughout the month of April. And usually it does take some time for things to go from the realm of spirit all the way into physical form. But remember, E equals MC squared, spirit into matter. What's going on in your beloved 2nd chakra, your one-on-one relationships? Think umbilical, right? Your relationship to money. Money is one energy field, so you have a relationship to money and finances. It can be about your sexuality, right? 2nd chakra stuff. Though I'm pointing at my solar plexus because I'd have to reach under the table. There's my sacrum, my 2nd chakra. Oh yeah, those crunches are working. It is that umbilical connection with other people, one-on-one relationships. Now, because I forgot to say this, each chakra has a sacred truth, an eternal sacred truth. The root chakra is all is one. So what you are bringing into form is for all of life, not just you, but it will manifest into physical form. The second chakra, ooh, hey, I thought I turned you down. How dare you? How dare you forget to mute the laptop? The sacred truth of the second chakra is honor one another. This is about honorable exchanges. Can you honor what you are learning from another person? And can you honor what you are teaching them through just your being alive? Well, interesting. Here we've got the Ace of Flames, the Ace of Wands with meditation. Now, what's interesting about that, the Ace of Wands is very phallic, right? I mean, look it up in the Rider-Waite deck. It's got a knob on top. Like a wizard's staff has a knob on the end, a knob on the end. Terry Pratchett, bless his soul. So it is phallic. Interestingly enough, in the Kabbalistic tree of life, the second chakra corresponds to Yesod, the phallus, right? So we're talking potent, creative sexual energy. Now keep in mind, it's not one or the other. Sexual energy and creative energy are the same thing. That's why thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. But with this card of meditation, this need not indicate only that kind of meditation. It can be creative meditation. It can be contemplation of, I have this drive, I want to bring this into form, and chances are you are in process with that, right? Considering that we may not have access to all the creative resources that we need, certainly to contemplate, to play with your creative sexual energy in this way. And because this is an ace, it could be you have the hornies for someone, or at least an impulse to connect with someone that you can't be around right now. So therefore there might be some visualization, contemplation, meditation, fantasization, if that's a word, going on there as well. But it is pumping your psychic field, so to speak. The second chakra is the pump of the chakra system. The Kundalini starts in the root chakra as the coiled serpent. That's what Kundalini means. I mean, it doesn't mean you got snakes in your ass. It just means that's the symbol of it. So as it begins to unwind, it's the second chakra, that creativity, that phallic force that moves it up and out to eventually you get sneaky head. Like if you look at, King Tut or whatever, they got the little sneaky head. That means that their Kundalini system was completely activated if they had a snaky thing coming out the crown, right? Fascinating so far. You're off to a really fun start. Why should we be shocked? You're Geminis. What's going on in your solar plexus, right? So this is all is one. Honor one another. Now we look at honor thyself. What's going on in your personal level of power? Ooh. Well, you've got a court card here, interestingly enough. We've got the Taurus card with divine timing. Okay, so let's just pause for a second. If you have any planets in Taurus, take that into consideration. Either that or someone, there are a couple of things they're showing me here across the Gemini spectrum in the collective here. Yeah, sure, it can be somebody with a Taurus placement that is getting to you, hitting your personal power. Like when someone criticizes you, someone calls you out on the carpet and it guts you, it hits you right here. Yeah, they may be hitting a button, they may be triggering you, but it's your trigger for you to diffuse, right? That really there's a gift in what they're doing. They're showing you an unhealed place within yourself. But other than that, second chakra, although people will talk about money and abundance and prosperity having to do with Taurus, the second house of the second chakra, this is third chakra. We're really looking at life values, the bedrock, fixed earth, Taurus, lifelong values. So are you honoring yourself? Are you honoring your boundaries? Are you living according to your honor code? Because with the card of divine timing, you might be getting very impatient, as all mutable signs can be. Look, I am Pisces moon, mutable water, and Virgo sun, mutable earth. I am getting a little chompy at the bit for the change that I want to happen, not necessarily wanting to deal with the change that's already happening, right? So there can be a great sense of entitlement here. Try and digest it with the grace of understanding, hey, everything is according to the divine plan. The best I can do is watch this movie unfold and act according to my own personal honor code. Yeah, you got to follow your gut. This is survival intuition here in the solar plexus, to honor thyself. Not honor myself, honor thyself, which speaks about your own personal divinity within yourself, that your soul wants to act honorably, but the ego, the personality, our wounds can often possess us during times like this. So slow it down. What do I value? What are my lifelong values? Do I value my health? Do I value the health of others? Do I value honesty? Do I value my boundaries? Do I value other people's boundaries? What is it that you value? A deeper contemplation, which I will say in terms of your interaction with others, you might be on fire in your second chakra, but in your solar plexus, there is this same thing of also saying, look, there is great value in this time out for you to be with yourself, to value yourself, to value your own guidance and grace that comes to you. Your intuition is directly connected to your self-estimation. Now, I don't say self-esteem that much anymore, because self-esteem gets interpreted as a noun, a thing. It's not. It's a verb. It's self-estimation. It's a process. It is an action. So to really get that, we're all in places right now of evaluating, estimating ourselves, our own personal value, right? Particularly because so many of us are isolated, and if we're not isolated, we're hunkering down with other people that can be triggering us left, right, and center. And even that's part of the divine plan as indicated. So it's time for stuff to come up for you, as it is for all of us. Don't take it too personally. But in the level of personal power to honor thyself, let's just say it's time to really get clear on who you want to be, the qualities that you value, that you want to see grow within yourself, indicated by not just the card of Taurus here, but the Corn Mother, right? Sort of the Demeter of the Native American pantheons, if you will. I speak the Greek, which rhymes. The gods are at work when I spontaneously rhyme. That's how I know it's them. Poets that they are. All right, there's your personal, your physical world, the root, the sacrum, the solar plexus, all kind of woven together in what's called the literal level of power, but the physical world. These next four, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown, will be your personal level of power, your emotional and mental fields, right? So let's see what's going on in your heart chakra. The sacred truth, love is divine power. Let's see where you are with channeling that love as divine power. Lovely. The Three of Pentacles with playfulness. So loyalty, right? Holding a candle for someone, lighting a candle, being loyal, of course, to your own heart. Give your ultimate... See, here's the loyalty structure that works for me. God first, then me, then friends and family, then work. It's how I roll. In the morning, I start with prayer. I'm a mystic. The gods are everything to me. But the gods are manifesting through me and through all of us, right? So I just don't have to be loyal to them. I have to be loyal to what I know to be true about this world as I'm healing and growing. And I have to be loyal to the love of my own heart, to love myself so that I fill up with love every day, and then I can give that love to others as I go, actually giving of the overflow. But with that card of playfulness, and isn't that just so Gemini, that you can be of light heart. Now look, I was raised by the sarcastic, right? I can't help it. I was raised by people who really are very intelligent and have a sense of humor and can be a little biting and sarcastic in their humor. But along with that intelligence, that intelligent highbrow humor is a nice dose potty humor, of lowbrow, right? I love me some lowbrow humor too. I can play both ends of that spectrum. So I'm very verbally playful that way. But to really try and play your role in this, to be loyal to your playful Gemini spirit, ruled by Hermes, Mercury, right? To really allow that Gemini nature to be loyal to some light-heartedness, that to really be both twins, to have the serious twin that's like, wash your fucking hands, wash your fucking hands, wash your fucking hands, and you're like, yeah, with Mr. Bubble, and let's make soap horns, right? Like, to balance your heart that way, because that's a wonderful way to express love as divine power, is with a playful heart. And keep in mind that for so many of us, we just can't dump all our survival mechanisms all at once, and humor is definitely one of mine. That's why, which reader am I on YouTube? I'm the fun one. Yes, wait. Stunning. Let's keep that handy. We may need it again. Here, wait, let's have this one too, just in case I need to double fist. That didn't come out right. Neither did that. Okay, there we go. There we go, the twins. All right, so you get that. Love is divine power, loyalty, 3 of flames, loyal to your own heart, love your own heart, and in that playfulness, that could very much be 3rd house, Gemini, self-expression in the world, really expressing yourself in a playful way. Just watch the derisive, hurtful humor. It ain't cute in a crisis. Just saying. Yeah. Let's check throat chakra. Now, self-expression, throat chakra. The sacred truth of the throat chakra is surrender your will. So we're looking at emotional power here in the heart chakra. Willpower. Willpower. Will you or won't you? Choices, decisions, right? What's going on in the throat chakra for the Gemini collective? Lovely. You've got the 7 of flames, victory with ideas and inspiration. So it does feel like, particularly with that 2nd chakra, Ace of Wands, Ace of Flames, meditation creatively, and with that card of the Witch, the Magician with abundance in the root chakra, that your ideas and inspirations are very victorious, though they may not be able to drop into physical form today because things are on hold. You can still express yourself. Now, when I say that the 3 modes of the throat chakra are spit, swallow, and chew, I mean, for some people, they're like, oh, that's so Mark. I'm like, well, yeah, but it is. Like, sometimes you're supposed to spit it out, right? Say what you mean to say. Sometimes you're supposed to swallow it and say, this is not the time for this. Let me digest this a little bit more. Or it'll go back and forth between the heart and the 3rd eye, right? Think it, feel it, then speak it. But then there is that 3rd mode of chew. It's like, let me chew on this for a little bit longer. Like, I am incredibly intuitive. I don't like the word psychic. I'm sorry, Dionne Warwick and Linda Georgian killed that word for me in the 90s. Oh, you're so psychic. I'm like, psyche means of the soul. And it's the root of the word psychological, which this is actually the psychological world, the personal world. But there are plenty of times where I'm out in public with people and I pick up on stuff and I'm like, oh no, don't say that. Right? Or when I know point blank people are shitting themselves, let alone trying to pull one over on me, and I'm just like, that's for me to know and for you to not find out, at least not for me, at least not right now, right? But then there is that chew, nibbling off the edges of the jagged little pill. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Alanis, wherever you are. God's bless Alanis Morissette. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? Really great. Victory. Absolutely. Overcoming blockages. Moving forward. Everything that you've been through in your life is preparing you for this victory of ideas and inspiration in your own throat chakra. It does feel like it's safe for you to express them, but maybe express them really with that playfulness and the loyalty of your heart. It's like, well, here's just an idea I'm kicking around. But I'll tell you this, do not hand your bubble to bubble poppers, right? For people who are just looking to shoot down other people's joyful expression, don't bother. Everybody's freaking out right now. It's not that they mean to be cruel, but they've had their own dreams shot down. People have pissed in their Cheerios. So, be well aware of your own process and practice as you go throughout this. The gods have given you some interesting inspiration and ideas to bring into form. You can express them, but know that they're going to hit the electromagnetic field sooner or later anyway. So be careful not to hand your bubble to bubble poppers or people who are going to let the helium out of your balloon, right? It's okay to keep things to yourself. Share this under vows of confidentiality with people, not just all over to everyone, everywhere. Oh, by the way, the sacred truth, because I've been saying the sacred truth of this one is surrender your will to the divine. So if you don't know if it's the right time to it, say it in a prayer, right? Say, all right, I surrender, then thy will be done. God, goddess, all that is, you work through me. You show me the timing. Because remember, the divine timing, I think you're going to know it here before you feel it here, right? You may be chomping at the bit here, ready to share, ready to share. Just be like, is this the right time and place for this? What's my honor code saying on this? What's my solar plexus? Because chakras are not separate from each other any more than the colors of the rainbow are separate from each other. They're all part of a spectrum, right? So let's see what's going on in your element of air, the mind, the third eye, whose sacred truth is seek only truth, because it's very easy to believe an illusion if we don't really take the time to investigate and seek the truth of the situation. This is really rock and roll. You got the card of the Lovers here. Now I know we immediately want to jump to love and sex and romance and getting our stuff touched. But with the card of manifestation, this might be a sexual thing that you want to incarnate and you're ready to express yourself and you've got loyalty in the heart. As a matter of fact, as I look at this could very much be that. But if you're not with that person right now, not a great time to hook up, right? But even in terms of your creativity, the card of the Lovers does talk about a balancing of the divine masculine mind and the divine feminine heart. Sacred mind, sacred heart with that throat chakra. A choice or a decision is on your mind about whether to manifest it, whether to even speak about it. But with that card of victory and ideas and inspiration, there's definitely a forward motion here. Just looking here, you've got 3 element of fire cards. You've got the Ace of Flames in the second chakra, the 3 of Flames in the heart chakra, the 7 of Flames in the throat. So there is a lot of fire and a lot of passion here, but the mind might be going back and forth a little bit about the decisions, about the physical manifestation here. Although it is true, an idea in and of itself is a manifestation. But like before I did this chakra spread at all, because the twin flames, it didn't feel appropriate right now for what we're all going through. Twin flames are turbulent, tricky, trying, transformative soul contracts that teach you how to learn, teach you how to love yourself, to heal yourself. They are learning, they are hard, they are rough. Did not feel like anybody needed that on their plate right now. I will get around to them in April. But even putting this together, like I had to surrender my will to the divine and say, it doesn't feel right. What do you want me to do? And they said, why don't you do the chakra check reading? I'm like, yeah. But I still had to kind of go through it in my mind, because when I read a client with this spread, I use different cards. I certainly use more than 4 decks when I do it, because we have that time to do it, and there's a back and forth. But for YouTube, I amended it. I tweaked it a little bit. So all about bringing it into manifestation. Here we are manifesting it. But still, I went back and forth in my mind. But I really did have to go with my lower 3 chakras. How does this feel hitting the Earth's electromagnetic field in terms of manifestation? So it's okay. I mean, it does feel like you're going to make the victorious choice here, whether it is to spit, swallow, or chew. But it's going to come down. And with that card of manifestation, with abundance, the Magician card is one of abundance, but it's also the creative process of going from star center, crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacrum, root, hits the ground and manifests, right? Cool. This is lovely. The visions that you have are going to manifest most likely, but it is that creative process, stepping it down through time and space, because every time an idea, a piece of energy moves down a chakra, it's gaining momentum, time, and space to eventually manifest into physical form. So what's in the radar dish? What's going on in the crown chakra, right? Seek only truth here in the third eye. Live in present time. Now, seek only truth, all right, they want me to pause for a second. Seek only truth. Remember, fears are usually illusion-based, but not always. Up here they can be, but when there's a fear in the root chakra, the second chakra, or the solar plexus, it's often that survival intuition of what's going on in physical form. Pay attention to all of it, but when the mind starts running in fear, that's when you've got to really decide, is this something that the ego that I'm picking up, fear in the collective, am I seeing truth or am I seeing illusion? That might be that process of the lovers in the third eye influencing your decision. I don't know if this is worth it or not. Well, keep chewing on it. Be loyal to what you're feeling in your heart. And as I said, with your values and divine timing, this creativity can come into form, particularly if this is a sexual or a romantic attraction to somebody. Take your time. Don't rush in. Now is not the time to rush in. Because what is it? Fools rush in where angels fear to tread. But I've been a fool for love too many times not to caution people. Slow your roll. Well, it makes sense. Because in the Crown Chakra, you've got the Five of Cups, the storm. It may very well be that there's a lot of static in your energy field right now because of stuff going on emotionally for you, right? This is the personal level of power, but with that card of listening. So it may be a little tricky for you right now if you've got some emotional stuff going on in your personal world, and who doesn't? But remember, every storm passes, right? Five of Cups. Nobody likes the Five of Cups, right? Because, it's just not fun, the cups are knocked over. There's emotional change, emotional upset. But when it's in the spiritual power, when it's in the Crown Chakra, it can mean that you have this sense of foreboding and this fear of loss going on. And who hasn't got the emotional fear of loss going on right now in one way, shape, or form? Physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, right? So with that card of listening, listen to your better angels. Listen to your higher wisdom. Now may not be the time to act on stuff, and I think that's obvious. Watch the news. You got to see that we're all on pause right now. But that's why the ideas and inspirations that you're feeling may well be victorious. But if you really listen to your honor code, your solar plexus, you'll get that, yes, what I have here is a value, but it needs to be done in divine timing, and that timing may not feel right now, might not feel correct right now. So a Crown Chakra storm, static on the psychic channel, on the channel of inspiration, of how to manage all of this. But this will pass. All things pass. All that rises falls. All that waxes wanes. All that renews erodes, renews and erodes, around and around and around. Gain and loss, gain and loss, gain and loss. But also keep in mind, you might be really picking up on the spiritual psychic static of the collective right now. To really be gentle with yourself and let this storm pass. Yeah, let's leave that there. Because now we're going to look at the 8th chakra, the home of the higher self, the upper room, the star center. Really the penthouse of the building of your chakra system, where we get to see visionary intuition. We get the larger picture. What's going on in the 8th chakra here for my gems who are truly outrageous, truly, truly, truly outrageous? Well, if anything was going to say that this was about a one-on-one relationship, probably sexual, romantic, with that card of the lovers in the third eye, and the card, the phallus, the ace of wands in the 2nd chakra. We've got the Libra card, 7th house, marriage, partnerships, dealing with the shadow self, interrelational dynamics with the card of emerging. So there is a partnership coming into you. Now, this could still be creative, artistic in some way in terms of partnering with somebody else, but that card of Libra, which can very much be about the balancing of the mind as well, the decision that's going on, weighing something in the mind, but can also be about what? Dealing with your own shadow self, your relationships. Definitely the Libra card reflects over to what's going on in the 2nd chakra, because Libra is very 2nd chakra, one-on-one relationships, creativity, sexuality, finances, all that stuff. But if this is part of this inspiration that's coming into form, this very well could be about a relationship. most likely a romantic sexual one from what I'm seeing here. And I think you have the right idea and the inspiration to communicate this, but keep your heart nice and loyal, nice and simple and playful with this. You need not blurt it out right now. Emerging isn't a bam. It's usually more gradual, more gentle. Slow your roll on this, my Geminis. This is a very fast-moving energy, but with what we're going on, particularly with that storm in the Crown Chakra, with that loyalty in the heart, yes, your choices can be very victorious in terms of your ideas and inspiration. And yes, in the Root Chakra, things will manifest eventually with abundance. But with this card of emerging, it does say let it unfold according to its own timing, because you've also got that divine timing card in the solar plexus. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Your makeup is terrible. Sorry, I quote Alaska, the drag queen, not the state, in case you didn't know. Okay, really very, very interesting here, but when our Gemini is now very, very interesting. That's why we got two more cards that are going to hit the table. The voices of the higher selves through the Whispers of Love Oracle. Let's see what's going on there, shall we? Nice, deep breath. The higher selves of all involved, please. One card in clarity, a whisper of love for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. What's going on here? Oh, I just got a flash about what this is about. Okay. okay. Got it. Please, higher selves, one card in clarity for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, March to April. What's going on in their chakras? Something pertaining to their chakric field in this one-on-one relationship. Oh my goodness gracious, what an empathic hit that was. Let's see what they have to say. Look at your pattern in relationships. I knew it. Look at your pattern in relationships. It requires inner strength to recognize that you need to change or modify your behavior. Yeah, this feels very romantic, sexual. I get it. Look, this is somebody it feels like that you've already had a relationship with. Perhaps you've been separated by choice or by distance because of what's going on the planet. That this relationship is going to come back around again. And my sense is you want to, and you have the right things to say, but you need to kind of play with it a little bit more in your emotional field. Are you ready? Can you do it differently this time? Can you do this with the divine timing? And the only way you're going to know your divine timing is you have to do it from by honoring yourself, right? To really feel this creative sexual energy attraction that you have, because you just can't bring it fully into manifestation right now, but when the timing is right. Carolyn May says that the solar plexus is the pinch in the hourglass, right? Can we get it through? Do we have the guts, the personal honor code, the infrastructure to channel this energy all the way into physical form? I'm going to say maybe not yet, because you need to look at your pattern in relationships. It requires inner strength to recognize that you need to change or modify your behavior, right? Maybe you did this person wrong. Maybe this person did you wrong. Maybe there is some forgiveness, some healing that needs to go on in your personal energy field, your own personal growth healing. Maybe you're not sure how the other person is going to either react or respond. They may react one way and respond differently later. But so I get that weighing it and balancing it. The higher self is saying, really, make sure you come correct on this one. And yes, sure, this can be about a creative project. It doesn't void everything I said about that, because it's going to play itself out differently. But you really need to look at even your pattern of relationships in terms of your own creativity, if this is artistic in some way, shape, or form. Wow. Man, when I touched those cards, it came into me down here and shot up into my third eye. I went, oh! It feels very dominant within the collective for it to do that. That doesn't happen every reading. Let's get you a healing mantra card from the Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn, published by Hay House Incorporated, Hay House International. I was gonna try and be a Hay House author with my book, Words of Grace. Such a good book. It saved my life writing that book. But they wanted me to jump through so many hoops. I had to they're like, you have to have a literary agent. I'm like, where the hell am I going to find a literary agent? Not the easiest thing in the world. And they're like, or you can come to one of our very expensive writers' workshops in Florida. I was like, hard pass. I'm not a joiner anyway. I'm a rebel, Dottie. A loner. I'd rather self-publish anyway. Let's get you a lovely healing mantra card, something that your Gemini mind can chew on to help you through this. Let's ask the Ascended Masters, shall we? Nice deep breath. Here we go. My Ascended Masters, please. I love that I make you laugh. Please, my Ascended Masters, yeah, if it was meant to be, it would have been easier. I get it. It's all fine. It's all part of the divine plan. But now back to the Geminis, please. One card in clarity. For this Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, March and April 2020, please. What is the perfect healing mantra, them considering all that's going on here on the table in their 8 chakra check spread, please? What is the perfect healing mantra for the Gemini collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, a Venus sign. Now, one side of this card is the mantra, the other the name of the mantra. Nothing else is written on here, so I can look it up into Bookie Book by alphabetical order. Processing grief. I had a feeling. I didn't know that this was going to be the card, but that there was definitely some loss here. Why? Because my losses prove how deeply I loved. If this really does feel more and more with each passing second here, this is about a lost love that you are wanting to reconnect, that you might have stepped in it. You might have sabotaged this. You might have gone against your honor code and wrecked a good thing. But I have a feeling that if you can process your own grief, that you don't want to carry this grief into it. You can certainly apologize. You can certainly make amends. But let me read you what's in here. Because what is grief if not love that doesn't know a way to express itself? Though your ideas and your inspiration are right on point with that card of victory in your throat chakra, you need to kind of play with this a little bit more in your heart and not be a player. Processing grief. This is a very, very powerful card. Let me just see. Processing grief. My losses prove how deeply I loved. When grief is processed, you are able to notice the maturity you gained even when losing the people, places, and things that once defined your sense of self. As you process grief, you are able to celebrate how deeply you committed to love instead of holding a grudge towards those who left or couldn't love you back. Once grief is fully processed, it can ignite a deeper commitment to love. You know that your alignment with Source is not a matter of what comes or goes. It is determined by how much of yourself you are willing to share. This mantra is ideal for opening back up to love, rebuilding trust, and addressing heartache. It feels like you chose somebody over somebody else, and now the regret is just driving you up a fucking wall because you're in lockdown with them. And you're realizing that you made a boo-boo. But to briefly, to refer to Matt Kahn's new book, which I am digging. I'm only on chapter 3. The universe always has a plan. But by the way, the first of the 10 golden rules of letting go is you've done nothing wrong. It's all part of the divine plan. It's all in the divine timing of this. But that you need to process your grief and your guilt here, because grief, none of us are trained how to deal with grief. At least I wasn't growing up. No, it was like, quit crying. Move on. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps, which was the family I was chosen to incarnate through, and I love and adore all of them, right? But what is grief if not love that can't find a way of expressing itself? The object of love is gone through death, divorce, or distance. Process your grief. Cry the tears. It's going to open your heart. It's going to heal your heart. Love what rises. And hence what's going on here in the heart chakra with that card of loyalty, that perhaps you played a little game, but now you can be playful with it and realize that I've got to play the game, I've got to play this out, I have to follow the truth of my heart, but I have to do it with divine timing in honor. Look, I'm already doing the overview. How about I do the magic clap, we'll pop up the picture, and we'll see what else pops, shall we? Nice deep breath, my Geminis. Magic clap. Ooh, that was a good one. We're going to start in the 8th chakra and work down because, yeah, we've got the Libra card in the 8th chakra about a relationship getting ready to emerge into your life, and it really does feel like one that is on the rebound. Or if not, a rebound, one that's coming around again. Ooh, shades of Carly Simon. It's coming around again. Definitely emerging, but there's a lot of indecision on your part. You're really trying to weigh this out in terms of the life plan that you are living right now, because in the Crown Chakra there is some emotional stuff clouding the skies for you. Hard to listen to your guidance and grace because of the situation that you're in right now. Even your own spiritual process might be a bit stormy, but remember, all storms pass, and when they do, the sky is clearer, the air is clearer, the ground is softened, easier to plant and for new things to take root. Particularly with that third eye, right? That card of the Lovers with manifestation. You really, like in your mind, it's like, it's time. I really want to make this happen. I really want to be with this person. I really want to come together. This does feel romantic, sexual. If that's not playing out for everybody here, then this, yes, could be translated into maybe another kind of relationship, or maybe about your creativity, an artistic thing that I really want to manifest this. I really want this project to happen in one way or another, whether it's artistic, creative, business, home improvements, any of that stuff. But in terms of the manifestation that you're seeing in your third eye, really take the time. Really take the time to see the truth that's there. Because in the throat chakra, I mean, you've got the card of victory. Things, really, a momentum here of ideas and inspiration. So I think you got the right idea. You're coming from a real inspired place. But you might need to chew on it still a little bit more instead of just spit it out because of the circumstances that you're in physically. Because it's going to create an abundance of change, no question. But that's why in the heart, the Three of Flames, really make sure that you are of light heart with this, at least for right now, as you get your loyalties and your emotional priorities in place. Like, for example, are you loving yourself? Have you really loved yourself to a place and time where you know no matter what happens, you will not abuse or abandon yourself, let alone anybody else? Look, we all have to deal with our emotional pain and our own emotional disloyalties. We have certainly chosen other people over ourselves too many times to be healthy. But can you play along? Can you find the innocence of the child in your heart that's willing to begin again more innocently? Because in the solar plexus, really, you have to focus on your life value, your honor code, to get the divine timing right. Not that we can get divine timing wrong, but you're going to know for sure by really tuning to your solar plexus. Like if you have acid reflux, if you have stomach issues, if you have an acid stomach, if your solar plexus is in knots, then you really have to kind of give yourself the time and the space to work all that stuff out, to be kind, to forgive yourself, to accept yourself, to honor yourself, to love yourself and your personal power. Because look, we all make mistakes, and yet we've done nothing wrong. Our mistakes are essential for us to learn and grow and become the people that we were born to be in this life, and it couldn't happen any other way. But in terms of this one-on-one relationship, man, the sexual attraction here, or the creative process here, whatever this is really been reborn within your energy field. But to continue to meditate on it, to breathe through it, not to dissipate it, but to breathe healthy air into that fire, to make that spark grow through the cycle of the element of fire from ace to 10 to completion. Because I'm telling you, with that card of the witch in the root chakra with abundance, once this hits the Earth's electromagnetic field, it is going to happen. And it is going to happen with a lot of extra, because that's what the word abundance means. But in the root chakra, man, your tribes may not like it, but man, it is going to shift things fast. So let it come down gently through the chakra system, so that when it touches into the earth chakra and you take action on this, you communicate, you demonstrate in some way that it does so with that honor in alignment. Because what's the higher self saying? Look at your patterns in relationship. It requires inner strength to recognize that you need to change or modify your behavior, particularly in terms of acting honorably, about being truthful. Now look, you're Geminis. The tendency to be duplicitous and deceiving is always going to be with you, but that you're really going to pay the price for that. Here's your opportunity to rectify this and do this in a really, really healthy, sane, honorable way. Yeah, you can't make an omelet without breaking eggs. There are going to be probably some people upset here, maybe even the person that you chose someone else over, but with that card of processing grief there, with the mantra, my losses prove how deeply I've loved, accept the loss that you have there, process that grief so that you can love again. And chances are the person on the other end of this chakra, dealio in your second chakra, is probably doing the same. This does feel like a twin flame or soulmate deal, maybe a twin flame that's manifesting into a soulmate, but the only way to see this through is to accept the divine timing, this, do your own healing, come correct or don't come at all, for the well-being of all. As you process your grief, you allow that loyalty and playfulness in your heart to express itself with innocence. Speak the truth with victory, with your ideas and inspiration. And then let the chips fall where they may, trusting the divine, that whatever is going on in this one-on-one relationship in that crown chakra with the Libra card is emerging and is worth watching what happens. Well, yeah, that was a mouthful for an overview, but very, very powerful and very compelling. Like, I couldn't take my eyes off these cards once I did the magic clap to bring up the picture. There is something very powerful going on here, but understanding that we are all on pause right now. Take your time. Even if it feels like too much time has passed, reach out little ways. Be playful, but be honorable. Be respectful, and by all means, pay attention. Honor thyself, honor one another, and know that all is one. That there feels like a very, very strong love that wants to make its way down into form here, something divinely guided, and it might have taken a world crisis for you to come correct. So may the Gemini Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need this March and April 2020, that they may heal, that they may learn, that they may grow, that they may evolve, that they may manifest the highest and best for themselves and all else involved in their lives, even if some eggs have to be broken to make this omelet, for the well-being of all. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you for watching. Please do like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Granted, this was a crazy, turbulent reading, but one worth paying attention to. So thank you so much, and as always, wishing you the very best and the very blessed of March, what's left of it, depending on when you watch this, end of April. But for now, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.